Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of this tutorial series where we are building a crypto real-time application, and in this one we are going to do some basic stuff with the use of models, views, templates, but also we will do some work with the external API. So basically the goal for this video is to have a working application which isn't going to be in real time. It's going to be an ordinary application with some cryptocurrencies data. And then beginning from the third part, we are going to start transforming it into a real-time application with the use of Celery, with the use of Redis, with the use of Django channels. So yeah, let's take a look at what have I done so far. So I started a Django project called CryptoProj. Here, among others, we have settings py and URLs py. Then I also added one application called positions, and we are going to jump into the positions very soon. And yeah, we have our database, and also I created a super user so I can basically go to the admin and log in. And yeah, I think this is it basically. So now I'm going to access the settings py file, and over here I'm going to put in the positions application into the installed apps list, and then I'm going to also provide some information about the templates because we want to do a template inheritance over here. So I'm going to put in templates, and that means I can put into the src folder another directory called templates, and in this directory we are going to keep our base HTML. So you may wonder, why do I want to have a base HTML for basically one page? The reason for this is that I want to keep the code as clean as possible. So in our main HTML, which we are going to create probably in the positions application, I don't want to have it messy, okay? I want to have the code as short as possible so you can understand better what we are going to do over there with WebSockets and so on. So uh, this is the approach that I prefer. If you don't want to set up the base HTML, just do it your way, no problem. And yeah, let's also save settings py file. And now, before we start working with the template, let's head over to positions and let's open up models py file, because here we have to create two models. So the first one is going to be a test model. We will do some simple tasks with Celery, with the use of this particular model, and then we will do some more sophisticated stuff with another model that we are going to create below. So here we will have just a name, and this is going to be a models char field, and this will have a max length of 200. And then we are going to put in a string representation, and this takes in self, and let's return str self. Let's put an ID. Okay, so this is going to be the first class, and let's create another one, and this is going to be class position. So position, and here we are going to store some information from our API. So we will need to have several fields. Let's begin with the name. This is going to be basically the same as over here, so I'm going to copy it and put it over here. And then we will also have an image. So actually, let's jump into coingecko.com. The link is in the description. So over here, we need to find the proper API, and let's see if this one is going to be all right. No. I think the one below was the one I wanted to try out, so let me just refresh this again. Okay, I think this one was the one. So I'm going to press try it out and then execute. And over here, I'm going to put in the currency US dollar. And yeah, I think we can work with this. So here we have the ID, the symbol, the name. So this is basically our field over here, the name. And then we will have the image. And if we simply grab this, so I'm going to zoom in, okay? So you can see better what's going on. Here we have an image, which is a URL. And I'm going to copy this, open a new window, paste it. And here we see Bitcoin, okay? So this will require a URL field. So let's put in URL field. And yeah, that's basically it. So over here we have the link to a certain site. So Coingecko assets, we are accessing assets, and we are accessing this Bitcoin PNG. So this is the reason why we aren't using an image field. With the image field, we are storing a path to the files that we keep in our media folder, okay? So this is why we are using a URL field, because here we are going to store a path to an external site, okay? So yeah, this is the image. Also, let's put in the price, and this is going to be a models char field. So I'm just going to copy this, and I am going to leave the max length 200. It's probably too much, but let's just put it like this. And then we will have the rank. So here I'm just going to change this to maybe 10, the max length 10, and the market cap. And let's do it also as models char field, and I'm going to put in 200. Then let's write down the string representation, and let's return str self name. So we are referring to the name of the particular cryptocurrency. Okay, so now we can head over and open up our admin, because let's also register those particular models. So from .models, we want to import test, and also we want to import our position. And then let's put in admin site register. And first let's register the test. And then I'm going to copy this. And below, instead of the test, we are going to put in the position. Okay, so I'm going to simply save this, stop the server from running, Python manage py make migrations, Python manage py migrate, and Python manage py run server. And now if we log into the server, we should simply see the test and the positions in our admin. So over here we are ready to create the objects. Okay, but this is something that we will do in the next video. In this one, we are going to focus on working with this particular API. So it's pretty cool because it's free and it doesn't require any key. So what I'm going to do is to simply copy this URL, and then we are going to head over to the views, and here let's define a home view which takes in a request. And the first variable that I'm going to set is URL, and this is going to be this particular URL from over here. So this is the request URL stored in the URL variable. All right, and now before we continue, we need to head over to our terminal, quit the server from running, and install requests. So pip install requests. Okay, so we are installing the Python requests module, and now we can run again python manage py run server. All right, so let's actually bring in the requests. And what I'm going to do, requests, okay, the spelling is correct. And what I'm going to do is to set a variable called data, and here we are going to write down the requests get, and we are going to pass in the URL, and we want to have this decoded from JSON. So now we have data request get URL JSON, and I'm actually going to grab this and paste it over here. So this is what we are trying to get. And yeah, let's also import, from Django HTTP, import HTTP response. So this is something that we are going to do temporarily. So I want to return HTTP response where we are going to pass in the data, so we can actually see if we if we got everything right. So now I'm going to save the vspy file. We still need to register them, so let's register them directly inside the cryptoproj in the main urls py file. So over here we need to write down from positions views, we want to import the home view, and below let's define a new path. This is going to be the main path with the home view, and the name is going to be home. All right, so now I'm going to save this and let's try this out. And as you can see, we basically get the same data. All right, so now the challenge will be to set this up in a nice looking way. So we want to have a table, we want to have only the particular positions that we defined in our models PY. So if we take a look at this API, we have a lot of information, but we only want the ones that we defined. And as mentioned before, we want to display them in a nice looking way. So let's jump back into Visual Studio Code. Inside the positions, let's create a folder called templates, and inside the templates let's create another one called positions, and inside the positions we are going to create our main HTML. So I'm going to inherit from base HTML. Then let's define the block title. We don't have the base HTML just yet, but we will do it in just a second. We will also have a block content and a block scripts. All right, so let's save this and let's jump into Bootstrap documentation, and let's grab the starter template. So I'm going to copy everything and go to base HTML and paste it over here. So instead of the title, we will have a crypto app, and here we are going to put in block title. So we are just going to put inside the main HTML in the block title, for example, main page. Okay, and I'm going to delete the h1, put in div, class is equal container, so we will provide some spacing on the left and on the right, and I'm going to close it off. And here we are going to have the block content, and below that we will have block scripts. Okay, so right now we can save the base HTML And let's, before we continue working with the main HTML, let's just go to vspy. I'm going to comment return HTTP response data, because right now we want to pass the data into our main HTML. And in order to do that, let's define a variable called context, and as a key that we are going to use inside the template, let's call this key data, and as a value, let's assign this variable over here. And finally, let's return render request, and then let's pass in the path to this main HTML. So we need to put in positions and then main HTML. And the third thing is that we want to pass in the context, so we can actually use this data name inside our main HTML and work with the values from our API. So I'm going to save this, and now we can head over to main HTML. Let's set the title first. I'm just going to put in main page. And of course, one thing that I just want to mention over here is that we are going to transform this. So we are going to do quite a lot of changes. Okay, so this is just so you can get familiar with the models and with the API. But starting from next video, we are going to apply some changes in order to have this working in real time, so we can see the results in real time as we simply look at the page, but also we will have changes stored in our database. Okay, so now we can jump into main HTML, and yeah, inside the block content, let's create a table, and this is going to have a class of table. So I'm going to close it off over here, and inside let's put in thead. So we are working right now on the head, on the titles of our table, and I'm going to close it over here, and then we will put in tr, and inside let's put in th with the scope equal to col, and the first column will be the logo, and let's close it off. And the next one I'm just going to copy and change logo to name, and then paste it again and change the logo to rank. And over here, what do we need next? Market cap and price. Okay, so this is for the titles. So we can close the T head over here, and let's work on the T body, table body. And first of all, what we are going to do is to provide an if statement. So we want to check if we have the data. And if we have the data, we are going to put in a for loop. So for obj in data, and then we are going to do something. But then if this is not the case, we are going to simply do else. And what can we put in? Maybe let's do a h3 and nothing here. So if we don't have the data, if something goes wrong, we will simply display nothing here. Okay, so now let's focus on this t-body and on this loop. So let's put in tr, close tr, and inside this table row we are going to put th. Inside we need to focus first of all on the logo, so this is going to be emg src, and let's put inside obj image. Okay, so we are referring to to the field image, which is a link. Okay, and we should get this Bitcoin in case of Bitcoin. So this is it, and I'm just going to set the height of 70 next to it, 70, and then I'm just going to close it. Okay, so we have the logo, and then let's put in a th with the class of align middle, so we want to have it centered, and we need to refer to the name, so I'm just going to put in obj.name, and let's close it off. And this is td, not th, this is td. Okay, so th is over here. Here we have this is table head and this is table data, so sorry about this. Table data. Okay, and now I'm going to copy this and paste it below. So here we will have the market cap rank, because we are referring to the rank. So if we take a look at our API, here is market cap rank, and this is what we are accessing. So we have market cap rank, and then we are referring to market cap, so I'm going to paste the name and change it to market cap, and finally I'm going to change the name to, let's check it, current price. Okay, so let's save this. Yeah, I think everything is all right, so yeah, let's find out. I'm going to hit refresh, and there it is. We have our page working, and this isn't in real time, unfortunately, but this is a good base because we have a working crypto application which we will transform, as mentioned before, in starting from part 3 to a real-time application. So I want to say thank you for this one, and yeah, hopefully we will see each other in the next one. So the next video will be the 15th part of the social network project. I will release it within 2, 3, maybe 4 days, and then I will create part 3 of this current crypto application project. All right, guys, so thank you once again, and yeah, hopefully see you soon. Take care and bye-bye.